Hello, we are the Fair Political Practices Commission, or the FPPC, and we would like to welcome you to our video series for Form 700 filers. This module will discuss how to complete Schedule C for income, loans, and business positions. Please note that advice can be fact-specific and that you should not rely on this video alone for help. We are available by phone or email if you would like to contact us directly with your questions. Additionally, there are several other resources which we will discuss later in this video. Also note that during the video, we will refer to both the Form 700 and the Statement of Economic Interests. These are in fact the same document, but in general, the Form 700 is the form before it has been completed, while the statement is a completed form. To get to the Form 700 page on our website, start at our home page and click on the box that says File a Form 700. The page that opens not only has a link to the form, but to other resources that we will be discussing during this module. Supplemental material such as the reference pamphlet, the Excel form, the gift and travel fact sheet, and amendment schedules can be very helpful to you when completing your statement. As the title of the schedule indicates, this is where you will report your income from non-governmental jobs, any personal loans, as well as any unpaid business positions. This includes income from your spouse or registered domestic partner. Please note you must report only 50% of your spouse's or registered domestic partner's gross income, while your income must be reported in full. The threshold for reporting your income is $500. Your spouse must have earned at least $1,000 for you to report his or her income. If you have an unpaid business position, or a business position that pays less than $500, you must also disclose it if it is with a reportable entity. While you may think that an unpaid position does not require disclosure, you may in fact have a conflict of interest that arises from this work, so you are required to report it on your Form 700. You must also report personal loans from reportable sources, as loans are considered income. The threshold for loan reporting is $500. And as with other interests, you need only report income from sources that are located in your agency's jurisdiction, doing business in your jurisdiction, planning to do business in your jurisdiction, or have done business in your jurisdiction during the previous 2 years. Please note that for income to be reportable, it must come from a source that is reportable per your agency's Conflict of Interest Code, and you may find that your code narrows what you must disclose. For training purposes, this video assumes that your income is reportable per your agency's Conflict of Interest Code. For more information on how Conflict of Interest codes may limit your disclosure requirements, please see our Need to Know video. Finally, if you are filing an annual statement, you must disclose business positions you've held and income you've received during the last calendar year. If you are filing an assuming office statement or a candidate statement, you should report positions you hold on the day you assume office and income you've received in the past 12 months. If you are filing a leaving office statement, you must report business positions that you've held and income you've received since you filed your last annual statement. This slide shows various types of income that you may have to disclose. In general, you will report income from an employer, as well as income from someone who purchases your car, boat, or house. You must also report any rental income that is not reported on Schedule B. This would be necessary if your property is not in your jurisdiction, but the person renting it does business in your jurisdiction. In that case, the income generated from your rental property is reportable on Schedule C. If you made a loan to someone else and they are a reportable source, you must also disclose their loan repayment to you. Finally, if you are filing an assuming office statement, you must also report any honoraria you received in the 12 months before becoming a public official. Please note that as a public official, you may not accept honoraria, so this will not be an issue for future statements. Fortunately, there are many types of income interests that are not reportable. In general, you do not have to report government income or income from the sale of stock or from stock dividends. Thus, your spouse's income from her work as a firefighter in your community services district would not be reportable, nor is your income from your second job as a professor at Cal State University. Moreover, you do not have to report income from a government-defined pension plan such as that from CalPERS or CalSTRS. If you are lucky enough to receive dividend checks from a stock that you hold, you do not have to report that income, even if you do have to report the stock on Schedule A1. Please read through the bullets on this slide to see what other types of income are not reportable. You may be surprised to find that you don't have to report any of your income. For more information, see the Form 700 instructions and reference pamphlet. When disclosing income from anyone, you must provide the name of the source of income as well as the business address of the source. You should give a brief description of the business and note your position at the company. If reporting your spouse's income, please write NA for business position or leave the field blank. It is not necessary to disclose your spouse's business position, and if you include it here, it will seem as though it's your own position, which would be confusing for anyone reading the statement. This example shows that the filer's spouse works at Ernst & Young and that the filer has an unpaid position as a board member. To see how a filer reports his or her own income, refer back to Slide 3. If your gross income is $500 or more for the reporting period, check the appropriate box to show how much was earned. If you are reporting an unpaid business position, as shown on the right column of this slide, check the box to indicate that you received no income. Next, you must disclose how the income was generated. Most filers will check the box to indicate that they are reporting their salary or that of their spouse or registered domestic partner. Some filers may need to disclose income from a partnership where they have an interest of less than 10%. If you have seen the module for Schedule A2, you know that a filer's business is generally reported on Schedule A2. However, if the filer has less than a 10% interest in the business, income from that business is disclosed on Schedule C. If you are reporting income from the sale of property, please indicate the item sold in the blank provided. Slide 3 provides an example of this type of disclosure. Check the box for loan repayment if you are disclosing a source to whom you loan money, and they have made payments to you during the reporting period. If you received income from a business entity in which you or your spouse or registered domestic partner do not regularly receive commission income, you will also use the schedule. Finally, you will also use Schedule C to report income generated from rental properties. Usually this income is disclosed on Schedule B. However, if the property is not in your jurisdiction, but the tenant does business in your jurisdiction, you will report the income here. As on Schedule B, you must report the names of any tenants from whom you received $10,000 or more during the reporting period. For instance, you may own an apartment complex in Reno, Nevada, so the property is not reportable. However, one of the tenants in the building has contracts for work with a company located in your jurisdiction. In that case, you would note the property at the top of the column as the source of income. You would also check the box for rental income at the bottom and indicate the name of the tenant who does business with the company in your jurisdiction. If you have received income for reasons other than those noted, please check the box to indicate that and provide a description of why you were paid. Under the Political Reform Act, loans are considered a type of income. Thus, you must disclose personal loans on Schedule C, where you also disclose income. This does not include loans from commercial lending institutions. If you have an outstanding loan from a non-commercial source, and the loan is not used to pay for real property, you must report it on Schedule C. In general, you would use this schedule to report loans from friends, neighbors, or business associates and other such acquaintances. Please note that you are not required to disclose loans from family members. However, as a public official, you are prohibited from accepting loans from certain people in certain circumstances. For instance, many public officials are prohibited from accepting loans from staff at their agency and from those contracting with their agency. Also, an elected public official may not receive a personal loan of $500 or more unless the loan is made in writing. If you do have a loan to disclose, you must use Schedule C and provide the name of the lender as well as the lender's address and business activity. Check the appropriate box to indicate the highest balance of the loan during the reporting period. For more information on loans, you may refer to the instructions in the Form 700, to the reference pamphlet, and to the gift and travel fact sheet. You must also disclose the interest rate on the loan if you are being charged interest. For variable interest rate loans, disclose the conditions of the loan, for example, prime plus 2, or the average interest rate paid during the reporting period. If there is no interest on the loan, check the None box. Provide the number of months and/or years for the full term of the loan, even if you have paid off some of the loan already. This slide shows that the term of the loan is 36 months. It does not indicate how many months of those 36 have already been paid. You must also provide information about security used to back up the loan. If there is no security for the loan, check the None box. If you are using your personal residence as security for the loan, check the box to indicate that. If you are using other real property to secure the loan, check the box and provide the street address and the city of the property. If there is a guarantor for the loan, check the box and provide the guarantor's first and last name. Use the last line to show if you are using another type of security for the loan. Finally, you may include additional information in the comments section to provide more information about the loan, or to clarify any other disclosures that you have noted elsewhere on Schedule C. The hard copy of the Form 700 has places to report 2 different sources of income and 1 non-commercial loan. If you have more than this to report, you can either copy the schedule as many times as needed, or you can report the income and loans on the Excel version of Schedule C. The advantage of using the spreadsheet is that you can save it for next year's filings. It will be easier to make changes to an existing document rather than entering the data again on next year's form. You can find the Excel version on FPPC's website. If you are filing electronically, the system will allow you to add as many entries as you need to report. They will all be saved for your next filing, and you'll be able to add, delete, or edit them as needed at that time. If after submitting your completed statement, you discover that you have made an error or left off a reportable interest, you should amend your statement as soon as possible. You do not need to complete the entire form again, only the schedule or schedules where there were errors. Amendment schedules are located on the Form 700 page. After you complete the amendment, return it to your filing officer so that it can be attached to your original statement. Please note that your original statement will not be discarded. If you have further questions on completing your Form 700, we are available to help. For questions on what to disclose or how to disclose it, call us at the number above or send us an email. If you are having technical problems with your agency's e-filing system, please contact the filing officer at your agency to see who provides support for your system. If you are having technical issues with FPPC's system, please send an email to the address noted on this slide. This concludes the training module on Schedule C of the Form 700. We hope that you will watch our other videos for Form 700 filers to learn about other schedules. Please note that you may want to complete the cover page last so you'll know which schedules to attach to your completed statement. Thank you for your interest in FPPC training.